Okay, so before we start, okay, so I would like to announce now that this will be the last lesson that we are going to tackle. Will be a short one now. This will be a short lesson. Okay, this is the last lesson for this week and then exam na next week. Okay, so pinapauna ko na ang isang malaking good luck for the exam for this second quarter. Okay, so yan. So magsa-second sem na tayo next sem. Okay, so after siguro ng inyong sem break, no, if there will be. Okay, so now after the discussion last meeting, okay, on designing your survey questionnaires, wherein it must follow the three steps, no, design, test, and revise. Okay, so now, so in conducting the survey naman, so how will you conduct your survey? Okay, so you can conduct a survey in many ways. So each method has its own advantages and disadvantages, or pros and cons. Okay, so you have to choose well, know which of the methods would fit your purpose. Okay, so aside from the way it is administered, other factors can also affect, no, the response rates as well as the results. Okay, so it is your decision which you will sure as long as it is appropriate not to what you are conducting. Okay, so here are the different methods. So later on, you're going to find out what are the different methods in conducting the survey. Okay, so we will tackle 5 different methods that will fall under 2 categories. Okay, so let us start. So these are the 5 methods will fall under these 2 approaches. First is the personal approach. So personal approach, under niya, sina face-to-face structured interview ang telephone survey. Second is a self-administered approach. Okay, so ang examples niya are as follows: paper and pencil survey or pen and paper survey, online survey, and mail survey. Okay, so let's get to it one by one. First, a personal approach muna tayo, which is the face-to-face structured interview. Okay, so face-to-face structured interview, so ang pros and cons niya are these ones. Okay, so pros and cons are advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so pros, when respondents are asked directly, the response rates are actually good, specifically or especially if visual materials are required during the survey. Okay, so one of the advantages of a face-to-face structured is when you have a visual materials for your survey. Okay, kasi face-to-face, he can see, she can see, okay, that certain materials of yours, no, in your survey. Also, the researcher can also observe the participants in this method. Okay, so you can watch the body language of that certain respondents of yours if he or she is telling the truth. Okay, because face to face, nakikita mo siya mismo. Okay, that is the advantage or advantages. How about the cons or the disadvantages? So sabi, there might be bias because of the interaction. There is also no anonymity involved. Okay? So dito sa cons or disadvantages, it might be biased daw. Bakit? Kasi nakikita mo siya. Okay? Wala siyang anonymity na tinatawag. So when we say anonymity, this is facelessness or namelessness. Okay? Once kasi na nakikita natin yung tao, nakikita natin yung pangalan ng isang tao, okay, for a survey or for an exam, okay, this is subjected to being biased. Okay? That's why, di ba, for example, in your examinations, meron tayong objective type saka subjective type. Okay? So subjective type is one example is an essay. Okay? So that essay, okay, form of a quiz, okay, is subjected to being biased. Bakit? Because if the teacher knows the name and then is one of the favorite students of him or her, okay, but I am not saying that teachers have favoritism, but in that instance, there are some, okay, so pagdating doon, syempre mataas yung points ng essay niya. Because nakikita niyo yung pangalan, sino itong estudyante na to, okay, unlike, no, when it comes to survey, kung hindi mo siya makikita, okay, hindi mo alam yung pangalan niya, okay, so you can, the response rate or the rate or the response will be not subjected to being biased. Okay. Also, one of the disadvantages or cons is it also not good if the participants no, live in the different locations. Okay, kung Lahat ng participants, for example, 200 participants, then nakatira sila sa malalayong lugar, different locations, di ba? That would be disadvantage, no, for you, okay, because pupuntahan sila isa-isa. Okay, so that would be costly as well. Okay, so those are the pros and cons of face-to-face structure. Next is the telephone survey. So telephone survey, syempre survey no, using your telephone. So one of the pros or advantages or advantage is this is applicable for asking consequential questions. No, unlike face-to-face interviews, there is anonymity in the approach. Merong anonymity sa telephone survey. There is facelessness or namelessness or obscurity na tinatawag. Okay? So kasi dito, it's not subjected to be biased kasi telephone survey lang siya. Okay, you don't know the face of it. Okay, you don't know the name of it. Okay, kasi optional lang naman yung pangalan. So consequential questions no are questions subjected to a result. Okay? So ganun siya yung mga consequential questions. So sa cons naman or sa ating disadvantage, so this method is not good if the participants need to see visual materials and if the questions are long. Okay, so kapag telephone survey naman, kapag napakahaba ng tanong, okay, so it will subjected to be to boredom. Okay, di ba kapag napakahaba ng tanong. Also, kung wala ka visual materials, unlike face-to-face interviews, okay, this will be a disadvantage. No, kung meron kang visual materials kasi hindi nila makikita. Okay, because this is just a telephone survey. Next is the paper and pencil survey or pen and paper survey. So you know this already. This is the traditional one. So one of the advantages, no, this is a traditional survey method, and this is good, no, for those who do not know how to use the computer or access the internet. Okay, so maganda si pen and paper survey when it comes to those respondents of yours who are not that computer literate. Okay, of course, if the teenagers are your respondents, then most of them, okay, most probably all of them, no, do know how to navigate the internet. No, if your respondents are the elderly, okay, so expect that not all of them or few of them are, few of them are literate, no, with a computer, and some of them are not. Okay, so that will be the advantage, okay, of the pen and paper. Okay, para dun sa mga not computer literate or computer illiterate. Okay, so what are the cons naman or the disadvantages? So cons nito are, this requires bigger budget in terms of reproduction, of course. Okay, because this is a pen and paper survey. Okay, so this must require bigger budget. It will be costly. Why? Because of the reproduction. No, reproducing a copies, no, xeroxing it, photocopying it, printing it. Okay, so it will be costly. Okay, so bigger budget ang kailangan. That's one disadvantage. This also involves distribution of the questionnaires, which can be exhausting, of course. So that will be too hassle. Okay, nakaka-exhaust yun. Bakit? Kasi mamimigay ka mismo ng questionnaire. You are going to distribute it and disseminate it, no, among the respondents of yours. Okay, face to face. Kasi pen and paper yun eh. So one of the cons as well is the researcher must also be present during the administration, of course. Okay, sinong magsasagot niyan kung hindi naman siya present? Okay, so dapat nandun siya mismo para sagutan ng paper and pencil. Okay, so ang maganda naman nun, syempre, no, obligado yung respondents no, to answer it, no, to have a response on it, and then to retrieve it to you. Okay, so that is paper and pencil survey or pen and paper survey. Next is the online survey. Okay, so nowadays, I think this will be the most useful survey no, that we can use, okay, so in this pandemic times, okay, para hindi siya risky. Online survey pros, this is best if the sample size is huge and they live in different locations, of course. Kapag napakarami ng respondents, thousands of respondents, and they live in different locations, okay, so conducting online survey will be helpful. Okay, so magiging mas madali kapag online survey lang, send ka lang ng send. Okay, so para kahit napakarami yan, kahit different locations yan, make sure mo lang na all of the respondents has access, not to the internet. Okay? So there is less expense compared to mail survey. Okay. So compared to mail survey, yung traditional way, ilalagay mo sa mail, parang envelope, sulat, papadala. Okay, this is less expensive. Okay, kasi internet lang kailangan dito or data lang. Next is the cons. Okay, the respondents must know how to use the computer to be able to answer this method. Okay, so that will be the disadvantage when it comes to online survey. Okay, what if the respondents of yours or the people no is not that literate when it comes to computer? Okay, what if the respondents of yours, especially the elderly, don't know how to navigate the computer or the internet? Okay, so that will be a disadvantage when it comes to online survey. And lastly, the mail survey. Okay, sa sulat. Mail survey pros, this method can be easily administered and you can even review the mails before you send them so that the visual quality is good. Okay, so that is the pros. That is one of the advantages. Okay, so you can review the mails bago mo i-send sa kanila. Okay, for you to check no the good quality okay of your survey. Also, there is anonymity present in this kind of survey method. Okay, because there will be namelessness, obscurity, okay, as well as facelessness no in mailing. Okay, ano naman yung magiging cons or magiging disadvantages ng isang mail survey? So mail surveys are less chosen by many because only a few responses are collected. Okay, so konti lang daw yung mga researcher na gumagamit ng surveys, ng mail survey. Bakit? Kasi kukunti lang yung responses na na-retrieve nila or nakakollect nila. Okay? Because it's mail. So, ang gagawin nila, papadala ulit nila yung mail. Okay? So, pabalik doon sa tawag ito sa nag-distribute. Okay? So, yung iba, hindi na lang pinapansin. So, hindi na lang sila nagre-response doon sa survey. Okay? Also, one of the cons, people also have more access to the internet nowadays, so they are no longer prefer the mail survey. Okay, so aminin man natin o hindi, okay? So people nowadays have more access not to the internet, so they no longer prefer the email survey. Makaluma na masyado. No, lahat halos ginagawa na online. Okay, the discussion of ours, no, nowadays are true online. Okay, so hindi na yan mababago after kahit matapos pa yung pandemic. Okay, so magiging katuwang na natin yung online na yan. Okay? So again, those are the five no, methods that can be useful okay, in conducting your survey. Face-to-face structured interview, telephone survey, paper and pencil survey, online survey, and mail survey. Now, to encourage your respondents to answer and complete the survey, remember these tips. Yes, confidential, professional. Not kiss na ano ha, kiss talaga, hindi mo kikisan yung respondents mo. Follow the KISS. Okay? Follow the KISS principle, which stands for keep it short and simple. Again, follow the KISS principle, keep it short and simple. So better response rates are associated with concise, simple, and easy to answer survey questionnaires. Okay, dapat ganun lang yung survey questionnaires. Keep it short and simple. Okay, concise lang siya, simple lang siya, easy to answer lang siya. Okay, next is confidential. Okay, you must ensure confidentiality and anonymity. Okay, if it applies. Okay, ensure confidentiality. Paano? Okay, so give the participants an assurance that their answers will be kept confidential and will only be used for the purpose of the survey. Okay, that's why meron tayo cover letter. Diba? Sa mga survey questionnaire, so kaakibat nun yung cover letter wherein what is the objectives and what is the purpose okay, of your survey. Okay, for them to assure, not for the respondents or the applicants or participants rather to be assured, okay, that the data that you have taken from them are confidential. Okay, so and lastly is be professional. Be professional, be courteous, and be polite. Okay, so yung mga words just like please or saying please, thank you, okay, as well as guiding the respondent politely that can motivate the participants to finish the survey. Okay, para mas matawag dito, para mas ma-encourage mo sila to answer your survey. Syempre, you should be professional, courteous, and polite. Okay, upon conducting your survey. Okay, so always remember those tips: no, kissed, confidential, and professional. Okay, so make it keep it short and simple. Rather, be confidential or ensure confidentiality and be professional. Okay, so those are some tips for you to encourage your respondents to answer and complete the survey. Okay, so that would be all. Just like what I've said, this is just a short discussion of the last discussion that we are going to have now for this semester. Okay, so but before we end, syempre I would like not to go to my Gmail account and then for your activity. So for your activity, you can look for, wait lang, no? You can look for EAPP activity conducting the survey second quarter. Again, EAPP activity, how to conduct survey second quarter. Let's take a look at this. So this will be your activity. Okay, kapag hindi kaya tapusin, this will serve as your assignment na lang. Okay, what gagawin nyo ngayon, no? So activity, before deciding to conduct the survey, list down the methods discussed and reasons why you will use and why you will not use each. State it in your own words and add more if necessary. So ang gagawin ninyo, yung discuss nating 5 methods, okay? Sina pen and paper, sina face-to-face, sina online, sina mail survey, okay? So all of those methods, ilalagay mo dito, 5 yon, and then you're just going to reason out using your own words, okay? So bakit mo siya hindi gagamitin or why you will use this method and why you will not use this method. Okay, you're just going to reason out loud using your own words now about those methods that we have tackled or we have discussed. Okay, so is your activity clear? Can you hit the thumbs up button niya kung clear yung activity natin for you to start it now? And hit the thumbs up button kung clear yon. Instruction. Okay, so that's good. So you may now start doing your activity. Okay, so after ng tawag dito, pag hindi nyo pala matatapos, rather, it will serve as your assignment. Okay, so I know that we are having a hard time no because of the internet connection. Send ko lang muna yung link para doon sa hindi pa nakakapag-attendance. Okay, so I will end this Zoom meeting na rin siguro. Okay, for you to focus no on the activity of ours, of course, to lessen the tawag dito, the unstable connection of the internet. Okay, so you are having unstable connection. We are having also here an unstable connection. Okay, so it will be helpful no kung titigil na natin yung Zoom and then continue muna yung activity. Okay, so again, that would be all for the entire English for Academics. Okay, so good luck to your upcoming exams. But before that is we will have a quiz first. Okay, on Friday we're in no, the coverage will be the topics that we have tackled or discussed this week. Okay, so I think that would be all for today. Goodbye and God bless. Stay safe, everyone. Okay, so bye-bye. Okay, kindly do your activity,
Bye,
ha?
sir.
Okay, so bye-bye. You will now have your early break. Okay, so that will serve as your assignment. Okay, so bye-bye.